much of a reset could this be for the highly touted 36ers, having taken this bold decision to get rid of a player of Randall's caliber?
I think it's addition by subtraction, and I think they might breathe a sigh of relief. They won't say it publicly, but I think deep down they know that they might be a better team without him.
Let's see whether that translates onto the floor. Melbourne United are going to have the ball here. Here's Isaac Humphries. I think he would be quite relieved to be on the court tonight, having had the whirlwind week where there's been so much emotion, so many people reaching out to him, I'd imagine, as well.
Oh, absolutely, and I love this. Going to win first play of the game. We're trying to go to win first play of the game as Chris Goulding gets a great start for Melbourne United.
Goulding was phenomenal against Southeast Melbourne Phoenix in the last game. 30 points, 7 of 12 from outside the arc. Karen. DJ into the paints. Can't get it to go.
First board for Isaac. Yeah, it's a tough matchup. This is going to be a good setup between obviously Isaac and DJ, because DJ can put the ball on the floor and get to the rack like we just saw. But I'd like to see if the United can then come down and establish Isaac in the post early.
Melbourne United worked their way up to 6th position on the table. 5 wins, 5 losses after a slow start. They've found a bit of form in recent times. Rajon Tucker goes to the line.
Been really impressed with Rajon, the way he's come off the bench the last couple of games. Obviously, it's been a bit of a blow to his ego, but in true professional fashion, he's accepted that role and he's came off the bench and he's provided impact. So now that he's starting, let's just see if he can continue that.
Here's Robert Franks. Player in fine form. Trimmick. Nice work from him. Drew Jones is courtside tonight. We were talking about the Shea Ili concussion. Drew, what do you know?
Hello, Al. Yeah, so he's very grumpy at the moment, Shea Ili, not available to play tonight. Concussion symptoms whilst training with Melbourne United during the FIBA window. Could have played, but they're taking an ultra-cautious route for Ili on his way back from concussion after missing the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, which makes sense. You need to be careful with a player of his calibre, and Dean Vickerman and co would know how important he can be for this side. Humphries stolen away. Drimmick in transition. McCarron back to Drimmick. Nice play. Cleveland blocked. And the putback from Robert Franks.
Adelaide is going into this game as the worst defensive team in the league, and I'm surprised that he's Drimmick starting instead of Sunday Dech. And that's not to say that Drimmick isn't a good defender, but Sunday is probably the more profound defender. But Adelaide got to fix some things on the defensive end, and so far, so good.
This was nice play here. Finish Drimmick. Tan Mays goes to work. He's fouled. And we'll go to the charity stripe.
Without Shea out there at the point, now Ratan Mays goes back to his point guard ways. And sometimes, even though I think he's found better balance, he can be very ball dominant, but he's also a prolific scorer. So this will be interesting to see how he picks his spots, when to move the ball, when to take it upon himself, because he's a problem to handle.
Well, just losing Shea, it's a big loss, as we all know. And Shea's defensive effort is one thing, but he organises and moves the ball on the offensive end. And XRM in his last game had 22, 8, and 6. So I feel like he kind of flowed in behind Shea's kind of leadership, and hopefully he can play the same way in this game.
Humphries gets Melbourne United another look. Rajon Tucker can't get it to go either. It was an excellent shooting performance against Phoenix last time. Outshot the ball at 57%. Melbourne United. Drimmick for the first 3 of the night.
That was one of those shots, Gibbo, where he goes, well, I can't pass anybody, so I might as well shoot it.
They do say shot is better than the turnover, but CJ would not be happy with that possession.
Ratan Mays, nothing going at the moment. Drimmick. And now Franks.
This is what Adelaide need to do more of. Give the ball to DJ. He's a prolific scorer, and like you said, it's going to be a tough matchup for Isaac to be able to guard him, but DJ only took 4 shots in their last game, so he should be a focal point, and that's the reason why.
That's what's going to be good about having Marcus Lee in, because once Isaac goes off the court, instead of having David Barlow play the 5, now you can bring in another 7-footer.
They are well off at the moment.
Well, it's just some sloppy offense, and we said Adelaide aren't the best defensive team in the league, but you know, a couple of steals, 3 stops, just leads to good offense for Adelaide.
Great pass, McCarron underneath Franks.
Timeout, yeah. Good patience, good ball movement. They realized that Rob Franks had the mismatch, had Chris Golding on him, and they were patient. Antonius Cleveland turned down that shot so they could get the ball inside.
Just absorb it all. Back in his workplace, doing his thing.
You won't find too many better humans than CJ Bruton. He won't give much away about, you know, Craig Randall. And interesting to see he's made an early sub here, getting Kai Soto in for Robert Franks early on in the game.
Golding gets it back from Barlow. Oh, Golding, he was so hot against Southeast Melbourne.
I thought it was a rule that if the sub was being called for you, Gibbo, and you make the shot, the sub gets canceled. Is that how it was when you were playing?
100%.
Underneath, Drimmick.
And he wouldn't be tired after 4 minutes either. He looked very angry there when he was subbing out in that timeout, but it's good to see Kai Soto in. And it's also great to see Mason Peatling sub in. He's been obviously injured, and another piece that Melbourne have been missing, so hopefully he can have a great start to his first game of the season as well.
Rajon Tucker brings it forward. Kicks it out. Golding being hassled there by Drimmick. Gets past him, kicks it out. Rattan Mays from the free throw line. Melbourne United's accuracy is not where it needs to be.
Just can't make a shot. I mean, good defense and shots are not dropping. It's going to lead to, ooh, thought that was a transition 3 for the big fella. But Adelaide got a clear mismatch inside with Kai Soto and DJ. And this is we are looking at the Melbourne United kind of small ball offense. Even though Mason Peatling is back, they're still quite small. So they're going to have to junk up some defense, I reckon, because they just can't match up.
Foul called on Dave Barlow. As Rajon Tucker exits the floor. Sunday Detch. Karen goes to work. Fade away. Rattles out. Johnson.
Just Adelaide up and about. Obviously the defensive end, Melbourne, the ball's not moving freely. It's a lot of one-out offense. Adelaide seem like they've gelled together. And again, you take a piece out, it's better about themselves. Defense picks up because the ball's moving on the offensive end and everything starts to flow a little bit easier.
Addition by subtraction. And CJ said earlier, I think he was asked more minutes. So he's making a concerted effort to get Kai on the floor some more. So obviously he's playing in the first quarter. And they're that deep. And they don't lose anything with athleticism on the glass. So it's looking good so far. This is an Adelaide team I predicted early would win the championship, even though I thought, you know, Randall would probably be involved. But they're still looking very good.
Well, they have raced out to an early 11-point lead midway through the first quarter, the Adelaide 36ers. So United need to respond here. Good ball inside. Oh, there's a big block from Cleveland. He swatted it away.
That's the Defensive Player of the Year from last year. Just reminding everybody why he won that award.
Finally, Barlow drops the 3. And Melbourne United get the crowd involved.
Well, it's fair to say they needed that. They were 1 of 7 before that shot. As Cleveland steps up and shows his form from the three-point line this year has been exceptional.
Nothing worse than trading threes. What do you, Gibbo, like with all the emotion and all the everything that's going on with Isaac throughout the years, Mason Peatling knocks that shot down. Do you think it's now a bit of a letdown to actually play the game? Are United a little bit flat?
Well, they're definitely flat, and again, I talked about Shea, but obviously the highs of what's happened with Isaac throughout could have drained them. A lot of media would have been around. A lot of hype around the team as Mitch McCarron shoots that nice little turnaround. The ball's just not moving freely, and again, you take someone like Shea out, that's what he does. He sets the team up, he moves the ball, and it's just a lot of one pass, right, as Newland gets to the hoop. But I want to see, you need to see the ball move for Melbourne. They need to work for each other and get better looks.
All of a sudden, things are starting to fall for both sides. Soto outside, gets an open look, never going. Barlow the rebound. Peatling underneath, received it from Barker, draws the foul. So Peatling in for his first game of the season, having an impact. On return from the Amy replay. Let's take a look at a nice bit of work from Barker.
You can't give David Barlow that wide open look from three-point line. He's doing that for the better part of a decade, and Cleveland comes down. You don't want to give up a three after scoring a three, and then just poor defensive transition.
Good job by Lockie Barker to push the ball in transition, because again, we're going to harp on it a fair bit without Shea being out there. They got to get, when they do get stops and rebound, they got to get in transition. So good to see Lockie Barker push the ball, and we all know what Mason Peatling's going to give you effort-wise. So he's probably on minutes.
Shea on the right, Marcus Lee on the left. We'll be hoping to in the case of Lee for the rematch, the throwdown again. They play Southeast Melbourne Phoenix on Saturday. Got on a 14-0 run in this first quarter, the Adelaide 36ers, which is their best of the season. Cleveland goes to work.
Well, that's just way too easy. You can't drive past two people and get a wide open layup on one pass. Dean, I would assume, would not be happy with this defensive effort in the first quarter.
I mean, you put Malawach out there early. He comes on, and the first thing he does is gives up a layup. So sometimes a lot of guys might think they should be playing more, but if you walk out there and give up a bucket straight away on D, the coach is justified in leaving you on the bench.
Barker knocks down a triple, and Melbourne United are starting to find their range. Detch, he was surrounded. Barlow comes up with it. Barker's been really lively, gets into the paint. Can't find the finish. Goaltending.
Milwaukee's got, talk about green light players, that's what he's done for the Frankston Blues in the NBL1 for plenty of years. Just into the floor, he hit that three just before. Great attack at the hoop. He's got a lot of weapons, and it's great to see him have a permanent spot on a team.
Drew Jones courtside, got some more info on Mason Peatling for us, Drew.
Yeah, thanks, Al. So repeated setbacks from that knee surgery during the off-season. Heard it during the NBL1 season. I've been told he's been working a lot on his shot. So we saw him knock down a jumper earlier. Expect that to be the norm for him. That lower body injury allowing him time to put up lots of shots.
So that's the benefit if you can find one from the setback of injury. Humphries couldn't win it. And Marshall, who comes onto the normal roster with the departure of Randall.
Just had his baseline. CJ's gone deep into the bench in the first quarter. And Nick Marshall's obviously, he can go, but that just,
Not sure he did.
I reckon he might have just touched that there.
Tuesday United, because this, with Adelaide already on 23, they're looking at a 100-point game so far. So United got to find a way to not only get out in transition, but slow Adelaide down and not let this score get into the three figures.
Tan Mays. Humphries. Franks comes up with the rebound. Drimmick to Soto.
Travel.
Oh, 2 shots.
I don't know whether it's been a focus for Adelaide, but they are just attacking the paint. They've had that many layups, that many scores inside the paint, and they're just drawing fouls. So, again, I'd expect Dean to fire the boys up at quarter time and try to keep them out of the paint.
Yeah, you got some issues when you got Adelaide always have 2 bigs on the floor. Robert Franks can play down low just as good as anybody, so Adelaide are never going to be small. whereas Melbourne United are going to be small most of the time until at least Marcus Lee gets into the lineup. So they definitely got some defensive issues, and I wouldn't be surprised if they mixed up the defense and maybe threw in a little bit of zone.
36ers lost to Perth 94-89 before the FIBA break. In that match, they scored 52 of their 89 points from inside the paint, Gibbo.
Well, it seems to be a real focus. They've obviously got some athletes and some guys that can penetrate and get past their guys. So, again, they're doing it tonight, and points in the paint will be pretty high for this first quarter.
Back out to a 9-point lead. United had got it back to 5 after a dominant first 5 minutes from the 36ers. Ratan Mays. Brilliance. Ray John Tucker completes it. Cutting to the basket and coming up with 2.
Good patience there. Ratan Mays saw he had the mismatch on him, had Deng on him. Went ISO and ended up finding a cutting Ray John Tucker, because he's got to get involved. Ray John got to give up. He's just got to score points. I don't care how he gets it, but he got to get the scoreboard ticking over.
Well, just great activity. He's a slasher. He's an athlete at the hoop, and don't just stand on the three-point line and watch. He makes a great cut. Anthony Drimmick falls asleep on the weak side and gets an easy. Just a great play by him.
Kuth. Detch. Johnson into the paint, goes to work. Stripped of it. And Ratan Mays in possession for United. Patient offense from Melbourne United. Just 5 seconds on the shot clock. Ratan Mays takes the onus and drops it.
That was always going to happen.
Second quarter action from John Cain Arena. Part of a doubleheader tonight. Later on, it's the Perth Wildcats taking on the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Johnson with the lob. Push. Foul called on Barlow.
Good half-court set by the 36ers. You can see what's going on. Drimmick cuts away, sets a back pick for Big Rob, and they going inside. Gibbo, they know where the mismatches are. They know, even if Rob Franks doesn't have a mismatch, they know that guy's so good. We just got to get him the ball.
Well, CJ, been a player himself in New Zealand for many years, Brisbane, Sydney, they make a focus of going at their best player or their best option on the floor, and they know they have a clear means have been known to do that, and you pick the weak link and you go at it.
John Tucker with the rebound.
This is what we need to see. Great ball movement. That's a set play to get CG a shot. Obviously well defended, but
Barlow's feet set, wide open look, but long
shut Chris down. And if you don't give him the ball and run plays for him, it doesn't help your team. So great play there to start the second quarter to get him involved, and you have to help him rotate, and that gives Barlow a wide open three-point shot.
Mitch McCarron, second season with the 36ers after 3 with Melbourne United, where he won a championship. Drimmick from long range.
Anthony.
Well, Drimmick's come out hot. He's got 11 points early on in this game, shooting the ball 5 or 6 from the field, and that's an impressive start for him. He's relishing his starting role.
Absolutely. He's never had a problem with self-belief, so it's good to see him finishing.
Ratan Mays returns serve. Margin back to 6. 36ers. 2 of 5 from outside the arc as Drimmick gets into the paint. Fade away. Short. Ratan Mays the rebound. 3 of 6 from outside the arc for Melbourne United. Ray John Tucker kicks it out. Barlow, open look.
Even though that was an open look and a good extra pass to give Barlow a shot, they missed Isaac Humphries. He had Mitch McCarron on him. Now, I'm not saying we go into Isaac just because, but when they got a mismatch like that, if we don't reward that.
Offensive foul called on Antonius Cleveland.
God, they're the weekend twice on Sundays.
He was tempted to challenge, but again, it's risky. You do that early and you're not successful.
Barlow's bounce pass, Golding underneath.
Well, again, just a great play. Go to your marquee guy. Get Chris involved. He's a hot shooter, so you can't let him come off that handoff and get a wide open three.
There that need some help. We don't want anyone to go through what he's been through. If you need help, there are helplines.
Any difficulties in your life, but it is what Isaac Humphries has done that creates a legacy and will hopefully lead to more people feeling more comfortable about who they are and being more willing to express themselves. We'll have the full video with Isaac Humphries coming up for you at half-time. In the meantime, the margin back to just to 1 point here, 29-28.
The United have done a great job. Up the pressure on defense. Everybody's picking up their man, and they're creating transition now. So now we got Rajon Tucker pushing the ball in transition. He's finding Xavier on Thomas. Even though they're small, there's no reason they can't get up and in Gibbo and play more pressure defense. So, and they also got in their back pocket. I think we can score on Adelaide. They're the worst defensive team in the league. So I think offensively they got some confidence.
Just opens the floor so much, and Adelaide are the worst defensive team in the league. So Melbourne should be able to run some points up on them.
So they've been averaging 91.6 points per game against the Adelaide 36ers. That's up from 83.8 last season. Golding. He get busy. Feeds Humphries, who feeds Rajon Tucker.
Well, Tucker's been phenomenal. He's been finding people. He's been a facilitator and finally gets rewarded. That's his third cut to the hoop that he finally gets reward for, and that's a massive play and a great pass by Isaac.
Absolutely. They put Isaac in the pick and roll, and he just slipped out of it, became the point forward, point center. Dropped the knife now. Here he is right here. Go to work, big fella.
Isaac Humphries! There's a moment. He's an inspiration. McCarron. And the putback from Johnson. This match is just going up.
It has been lots of life. How good is that? Great play from both ends, and what a finish. A great spin move in the block and a great two-handed dunk.
So Adelaide clinging onto a 1 point lead as Franks lets fly from beyond the arc.
There's the focal point.
Here is Franks. Two shots here. Barlow again pleading his case.
On the shoulder.
There's Isaac slips out of pick and roll, drops a dime, and then Rajon just touches the back of his shorts before he throws it down. That's the mismatch right there, Gibbo. We got whoever's Mitch McCarron is guarding. They're trying to get him in some type of ball screen, any kind of cross screen or something to get him guarding Isaac, and then we go down low.
Thanks to Amy, that replay, and thanks to Isaac. Been many thanking Isaac throughout this week, and that was a significant moment within this match.
He's a giant for what he's done for the community, for his community, and everybody around the world that can just look at this and take some pride and have some courage and think, you know what, just maybe I can just take a page out of this big fella's book. And I'm sure, Gibbo, he would be probably embarrassed by all the attention, but this just comes with the territory when you're a giant now.
Well, it does, and from all across the world, like how special all across the world, legitimately everywhere, have all shown support and shared and retweeted and commented and got right behind him, and hopefully...
Here he goes again. Franks runs the floor, held up by Humphries, presses on. Brilliant play.
The guy's good. The guy's just good. Now on the other end, we got pick and rolls, and Adelaide got to work out what they want to do because they're showing aggressively on all of Isaac's ball screens.
Here he goes again. He's turning into the entertainer.
Spoon fed by Newley, nice.
Mum's watching on and very proud, naturally.
She would be a proud mum.
Kai Soto. Right-hand hook shot.
The righty? Oh, he's got a
There we go.
That's an old school right-hand hook. And look, does it look like he travels almost every time he's making a move to the hoop?
The Filipino two-step.
Humphries and Golding getting a look.
And this is again, Melbourne have missed Shea Elliott, but they've also, this is what Mason brings to...
Oh, yeah.
That's an NBA two-step right there. But Mason brings, this is what he brings, all the effort and energy areas that him and Shea bring. Stat sheet, but just gives Melbourne second chance points and gives guys like Chris Goulding opportunities to shoot, kick out threes and second chance points.
Here is Peatley. Oh, he started it, couldn't quite finish it. McCarron. Things developing nicely here. As far as the contest goes, Sunday Detch from outside. Drimmick gives them another opportunity.
That ball's got to go into Robert Franks right now. He's clearly got a mismatch.
Sunday Detch comes up with 2.
Anthony Drimmick has been extremely impressive. He's not a point guard, but he can put the ball on the floor and attack the basket and make moves, as you see Rob Franks telling Sunday Detch right there, give me the rock when you see I got a 16-year-old on me.
Well, Marcus Lee, Melbourne United are excited about what he might be able to bring to this lineup. As we take a look at what transpired.
Superstars of NBA overtime. Cam Luke, Leah Santa Maria. Taking in the action.
Barker, Peatley, Oguera, and Goulding to finish. Yes!
Great offense, great setting. That man right there will love the fact that Mason Peatley's back in the action. If you see that play again, hopefully we get a replay. Comes off, sets a great screen, kicks it on, then goes back and finds him. Just a great offensive set.
You got to have guys like Mason, as you just speak of the devil, one screen. Mason likes to set the screen. Some guys set those excuse me screens. They don't really want to get involved. They rather just pop out. Whereas Mason's happy to put his body on the line and get a guy open.
Barker, Newley, Peatley, Goulding again. Yes, more of the same as they level things up, United.
I love the lineup out there for Melbourne. Guys that don't want to shoot the ball, that are happy to run plays and get the offense through their main man, Chris Goulding. And great set. And if he doesn't shoot this next one, something's going wrong.
Heat check is in effect, and I'm playing Mason Peatley until he pass out. Damn the minute restrictions.
Soto, another right-handed hook.
The odds.
Hey, talking to Derek Rucker. All right, he's trained him a lot and said he prefers his right hand over his left, as that's a big shot by Mason Peatley. Chris Goulding would be like, lucky that's going down, but back to Kai Soto, that right hand hook. He's kind of like a Mitch Creek. He's a lefty, but he prefers to drive and use his right hand, and that's another impressive finish.
Kai Soto having performed really well for the Philippines during the...
Here it is. He's a left-hander but driving right. And that's a nice hook shot on you.
Back righty hooks. What was that paying? We got ourselves a proper ball game. It got off to a slow start, but both teams are showing what they're capable of when they get to run their good stuff. They got Goulding involved. Mason Peatley has just added a whole new element that we haven't seen all season.
United shot the ball poorly in the first quarter. Drimmick for 3. Oguera the rebound, but now up to 51.5%. Parker, he gets it to go. And United skip out to a 4-point lead.
If Barker's going to be coming off handoffs on one side, letting threes fly like that, you got Goulding doing the exact same thing on the other side. That is 2 legit scoring options. You got problems on defense, as Antonius with the sweet lefty finish.
Well, again, it's great offense, but you run 2 plays through your main guy and Chris Goulding, and he makes those shots. The pressure's off everyone else when they shoot the next ones. There's a lot of confidence. As Mason Peatley's out here like an MVP form. He's playing his first game.
Faced him up and stared down the 7-footer.
8 quick points for Mason.
He's only been out there 7 minutes. DJ De Soto has had some nice moments this game, and Soto has had some nice moments within it.
Well, he's been away with the FIBA team, and that's way too easy. Kai Soto's been away with the national team during the FIBA window, and you know you go and play against international competition. You come back, and sometimes these games feel a lot easier. The pressure's not on as much, so He's obviously played a lot of confidence. His Sunday Ditch steps up and makes a nice step back three from the top of the key.
I'm loving the pace just as a fan. This is get up and down.
Absolutely. Cleveland underneath Drimic. 2 shots coming up.
Limmer, everybody in your team can play. You want to give everybody some minutes. You play defender, the traditional 5. He's now becomes a defensive liability to Gibbo. So what do? Do you trust that he's going to make righty hooks all the time?
There's the Latrobe Financial Legends. Adam Gibson on the right of your screen there. Good likeness, Gibbo. Are you happy with it?
Yeah, my teeth, I'm getting them fixed soon, but it's not bad. I'll take that. I'm pretty happy with that. But just back to your point, I think CJ and the team need to work out what's more important. Like we've said, they're the worst defensive team in the league. Where's your priority? You're giving up 50 points already at half-time. You're looking like a 100-point game. So either get guys out there that want to play defense or sit them down, because you can't just keep trading baskets.
If you want to help Gibbo pay for his teeth, you can win a guaranteed $50,000 with thanks to Latrobe Financial. Enter at nbl.com.au/legends for your chance to win. 51-50. High quality, entertaining, tight Thursday night clash.
Not the foul you want to give up, Mitch. Late in the clock now, United definitely get the last shot. And here, I'm going to be Nostradamus right here. I'm going to make a bold prediction, Gibbo. Tom Mays is going to put Daniel Kuth in this ball screen and go one-on-one.
Here's Ratan Mays. Golding guarded closely. Sunday Detch. Good hustle.
There you go, Nostradamus. There's no magic ball in the booth, that's for sure. I like that they went to Chris, but again, Ratan Mays, that's what he does. He's an end-of-quarter scorer, and against one of the best defenders in the league, Sunday Detch. It's great hands, and it's a great stop for them as they get a chance to close out the half-time.
Chris Golding not happy with that call. He felt that Sunday Detch was responsible for that ball going over the halfway line. Part of your first NBL experience. Has been playing in Spain recently. So dying seconds here for Adelaide 36ers to try and come up with a bucket. Johnson is blocked by Aguera. United have possession as time expires in the second quarter, and just 1 point separates these two sides heading into the halftime break. The Adelaide 36ers with their highest first half score, leading Melbourne United 51 points to 50, and Aguera there. The big block on Johnson.
Well, I would have liked CJ to sub in his main offensive guy, and that takes the help side away and gives DJ a wide open shot, but because they had Deng and Kuth on there blocking up the paint, that wasn't an option.
Star, a premiership player with Collingwood in 2010. Just 1 point in this match. It has been engrossing. From slightly humble beginnings, this game has really ratcheted up, and we are set for a thrilling finish. I hope you're enjoying it wherever you're taking it in, as Isaac Humphries on target with that shot. Rajon Tucker can't put it back for...
No doubt both coaches at halftime would have said our defense right now is not up to par. So the first team that comes out, like I said, and establish themselves defensively should win this game, because Adelaide wouldn't be happy with their giving up 50 points. And Melbourne, on the other hand, would probably be a little cool with the fact, Gibbo, that they actually got that many points, because that's rare for them at the half.
Well, 100%. And you see both teams a real focus to throw it into the paint, into the post to their bigs. And David Barlow getting the start here in the second half to try and slow Robert Franks down, because he's a real problem inside the post as they go back to him again.
Franks guarded by Barlow, out to Drimic. Short on that shot, Barlow the rebound.
Rajon Tucker dodged a bullet, just sagging off Drimic like that. Being in no man's land, trying to give some help that wasn't really necessary.
Golding loses it, tries to get it back. Drimic. A chance for McCarron. Easy layup for Mitch McCarron.
Well, again, just clunky offense to start the quarter by Melbourne. They need to make Chris Golding a focus, run some plays, run him off turnouts and get him involved, and that again will open up things for everyone else, as that's a breakdown.
Barlow just cannot get it to go. 1 of 5 from outside the arc tonight.
You hear CJ yelling, Robo, get on the block, as they want to get the ball back to Robert Franks.
Karen, patient. Cleveland. Who was that to?
Yeah, it's one thing to try to go inside to the mismatch, but you got to still have some type of structure to it. Right now, it's just a lot of standing around trying to dump it in. I like to see Adelaide get a little bit more ball movement.
Cleveland. The glass won't go. This has sort of started a little bit like the first few minutes of the game. Things certainly went in an upwards trajectory. Rajon Tucker rattles out. Drimmick pops it over. Franks guarded by Barlow. It's off the rim as well.
Like I said, you can give. I'm all for going to the mismatch, but can I get some player movement first?
But Barlow's a brick wall, so that's not going to work going straight through him like that. And again, just both ends very sloppy offense.
Well, the 36ers have scored 2 buckets. United haven't scored any in the first 3 minutes and 11 seconds of this third quarter.
Well, as far as offensively goes, you can't afford to shoot yourself in the foot on the defensive end. So right now, Dean has obviously made some subs, try to get a better defensive unit out there, at least for the time being, see how it goes.
As that's a great shot by Robert Franks. This lineup for United worked in the second quarter. They run a lot of plays for Chris Golding, run him off turnouts, make him a focal point. As that's great defense.
McCarron waits for support. Drimmick into the paint. The block. Humphries got there to deny. Still a chance though for Drimmick. He's floored by Big Humphries. That was all a bit clumsy.
Foul is on 7, blue. Push. We've got 3 shots.
Let's have a look at the Amy replay here. On the Robert Franks 3-pointer, Drimmick's going to get a chance for 3 from the line.
Just a mix-up in communication right there. I think Golding was supposed to go out there to the corner. Isaac had just got the block and sat there and thought, wait, I got to go and guard that guy too? I might as well take him out. Make him really earn these free throws.
Let's go. Line up.
I'll tell you what, this sounds like a bit of fun. Your chance to win the trip of a lifetime to the US for you and a mate to meet Shaquille O'Neal. Flights, accommodation and spending money included. With thanks to Reebok, enter now. That is a pretty cool prize.
Dad Shaq to meet the big fella. He was out here, it looked like he met everybody.
Well, I think he missed a few people on his trip out here. He did that many tours in different locations, but yeah, I love watching him and Charles Barkley.
At home. So Drimmick to make it an 11-point lead.
Went to Phoenix, travels everywhere. What a man, what a player. You would have almost played against him.
I'm not that old. Calm down.
It's not falling at the moment for United. So a 1-point lead, a 10-0 run. And now it's out to 11 points as Franks goes to work and Humphries with the block.
Isaac is leading the league in block shots. It's at least almost 2 a game, so you can only imagine what's going to happen when Marcus Lee gets out there. You got the wall of Kentucky.
You've been thinking about that one? That's not bad for you, Damon.
Damon's best work is improvised, spontaneous. Now a chance for Humphries again. Things are getting a little physical out there. Humphries hits the floor. How about that? And 2 and 1.
Cut that up.
Oh my God.
That's a handle on the big fella. Tacking down the transition, little right to left through the legs. And 1 to Mason Peeling.
Look at this. Whoop. Dime.
He's had some big moments. blocks, dunks, that.
Well, that's a great handle for what you say is 7-footer. That's,
No, don't take him out now.
that's incredible.
All right, here's an idea. Tell me what you think, Gibbo. I'm going to play Isaac at the point. Let him initiate the offense. Bring the big out. What do you think?
Well, potentially against Kai Soto, yeah, maybe Daniel Johnson, but we might stop it there.
McCarron inside Franks. It's fouled. Dean Vickerman barking the...
Dean obviously yelling out at Lockie Barker that he missed the rotation on that ball screen. It's just little things like this you don't see. Like the average fan probably would miss something like that. Think, why is he yelling at Lockie? Well, Lockie, it was his job to come over on the roll. And because he got there late, Rob Franks goes to the free throw line.
We're up. Here's Barker. Newley. Peatling. Seconds ticking down. Peatling. Detch gets in the way.
That's great defense, switching defense by Adelaide up and in. And again, we talk about Sunday Detch. Should be a starter. He brings that defensive effort, and that's a great possession on the defensive end as Cleveland's throwing 2 sloppy turnovers.
Peatling the steal. Newley just keeps it in. Stolen back by McCarron. Oh, Mitch McCarron goes upstairs and celebrates. Now, Chris Golding's come down heavily here.
Oh, and then Mitch didn't see him. He didn't see him. Totally accidental.
Gee, he does not look in a good way, Chris Golding. Mitch McCarron gets tangled.
Oh, Rob Franks caught him with a stray elbow, which also looked accidental. You can see Rob Franks here. He just kind of turned and just kind of clipped him a little bit, I think.
So this is a real concern here for Chris Golding. Hopefully this is not going to be too serious for Golding, but he's taking his time to get back up.
Oh, a little shoulder. Clipped him right on the chin.
Did he get him in the chin? Did he get him on the shoulder? It's hard to...
Looked like he got him on the jaw.
Drew Jones has got a really good line of sight on this. Down to you, Drew, courtside.
Yeah, look, Chris looks really groggy down on the ground there. He was talking to the medical staff, but not...
Well, we all know what that means if you're a bit groggy.
Well, no doubt Melbourne United, as all NBL teams, will have protocols around concussion, and no doubt he'll go back and do some tests like they've been pre-spawned. As we see, Mitch McCarron just got a tech foul after the dunk. I think he rubbed Lockie Barker's head, I believe.
They don't miss a beat, these refs.
Surely, can we get a replay of that?
All right, so
Mitch got sneaky hops like that. 2 hands off the 1 foot.
I'm not sure what you're asking me.
seems like there's a little bit of confusion on the bench. Barker, Aguera, Melbourne United, what can they produce in the absence of their star shooter, Chris Golding? Barker, Malawatch, yes!
Well, that's a big shot. This is a big few, 3-4 minutes to end the quarter for United, and where are they going to score their points with their main scorers off the floor? And that's a great start.
And here's your jump defense right here. Shouldn't say jump, but here's your zone defense because they got to figure out a way to get some stops.
Open look for Dench. He drops it.
Sunday's, in my eyes, one of the most underrated players in the league. Doesn't get a lot of hype, but he's so solid. His defensive intensity is next level and shooting the ball really well.
Just sloppy offense. We just don't. We don't have a lead guard on the floor.
Cleveland off the glass.
Things are going pear-shaped real quick for the United. Here comes the 2 imports coming in to try to stabilize this last 3.5 minutes.
Biggest lead of the game, 13 points for the 36ers. Newley goes to work. Take a shot long. Peatling with the rebound. And he'll go to the line. Foul's called on an incredulous Kai Soto.
With this 7 minutes of this third quarter, they've held United to 7 points. And this is like, it's almost like teasing when you're capable of and yet you don't do it. It's like, why wouldn't you? Like, I don't understand. So it's clearly something that's mental with the 36ers because they should not be the worst defensive team in the league given the talent and the athletes that they have.
Well, I think they just rely on the fact that they can score the ball so well. So when you see it going in the other end, like, you know, we'll be all right, we can make some shots. It's not a massive focus, but I think you hold people accountable. If the guy's not doing it, you sub him out, and there's plenty of other guys that will step in and want to play the minutes that might take on that challenge.
Julian Karen's now being cast as the villain. Cleveland. Ratan Mays, can he get busy? 10 points for Ratan Mays, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Guerra. Ratan Mays kicks it out. Guerra the open look.
Xavier came into this game averaging about 17, and that's what he, as Rob Franks. Rob was distracted by Rajon Tucker's little 1-hop, 2-hop flop move. I don't know what that was, but Xavier's got to go back to being aggressive Xavier for this particular game because now that Golding's out, they need buckets, and this isn't the time now to be the master distributor give up.
No, it's not. Again, we talk about moving the ball, making the defense adjust, and that's not great offense.
Cleveland on the drive. It's fouled on the way to the basket.
You want to make sure that help is not late because Cleveland will put you on a poster.
Look like pretty good D.
This with a verticality. We don't see none of the challenges, so going to the line for 2.
Antonius Cleveland, 11 points, 71.4% from the field. 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block.
This is just how deep Adelaide is. I mean, DJ, has he taken a shot this half, this quarter? They just got that many weapons.
Well, they do it, and you look at their spread across the floor. Drumick 16, Cleveland 13, Franks 13, and then you got Mitch McCarron, Soto, and Sunday Ditch all on 8 points. Like, that's an even spread. You're going to win a championship. That's the way to do it.
36ers have scored 21 points this third quarter. Just under 2 minutes to go in it. They've averaged only 16 points in third quarters this season.
I don't know if Sunday Ditch is the guy you want to be going at on ISO.
That's just elite defense. The scout is to go under, let him shoot a perimeter shot. He doesn't get screened. He beats him to the spot. It's really good hands.
Ratan Mays from the free throw line.
That's exactly what they need, an aggressive Ratan Mays. If I'm Dean Vickerman, I'm saying to XRM, you have got, I need 10 to 12 more shots out of you before this game is over with, because I don't see them scoring enough points to win.
Here's DJ. Not his best effort.
Not his best. He hasn't seen a shot for a while and a little bit cold, so as Adelaide are in a bit of a press, a little 2-2-1 press, just to take some time off the clock as they fall back into a man-to-man defense.
Ratan Mays kicks it out. Guerra. They need those shots to go now, Melbourne United.
Even though it was a wide open shot, it's still a one-pass offense, though. Like, the ball isn't moving, it's not touching enough hands. So guys are standing around a lot just waiting for plays to happen. That's not a recipe for success.
McCarron from the elbow. This will bring the house down.
He will be loving every moment of these boos. I'm not sure if he's getting booed for the head pad or for accidentally tripping into Chris Golding, but
Rajon Tucker for 3.
Don't every player like being a villain?
I was never a villain, Dave.
I'm sure there's plenty of teams and fan base that hated your ass, Gibbo.
I'm sure they did.
Gibbo's nothing but likeable.
Thank you.
Detch into the paint. Last chance here for Melbourne United. Baton Mays goes to work.
Smart by Xavier. I think he ran directly into DJ's rib cage. Saw he was out of position. Knew he could get him, made some contact.
Well, it's actually not a bad foul. I think that's only their 4th team foul as he passes, so they'll have to take it out and run a side or end line play. So it's actually not a bad foul there by Adelaide.
12 points. They make it 10 or even reduce it to 9 here, Melbourne United. That might give them a spur. Rajon Tucker on the spin. Right-hand hook goes. 10 points the margin. Adelaide 36ers dominated the 3rd quarter. So the Adelaide 36ers in a really strong position, leading by 10 points at 3-quarter time after they were able to outscore Melbourne United 23 points to 14 in the 3rd quarter. Only 1 point had separated the two teams. Holding. He came down heavily in that 3rd quarter and had to be taken from the court. So we'll get an update on their star shooter as soon as we can. Detch out to Cleveland. Aguero the rebound. Kick ahead pass. Malawatch has travelled. Melbourne United would have to defy history this season. No team has come from more than 5 points down at 3-quarter time in any match to win.
Only 5 points, is that all?
Yep.
And also, we love the stat man. In Adelaide's 7 games, whoever leads at quarter time has won that game. So in all Adelaide's 7 games, whoever leads at quarter time, which Adelaide did, they've won all 7 games.
So what you're telling me is this game is over?
Teams don't always follow the script, as we know.
I'm just reading up the stats.
3 seconds. There's one thing about being unselfish. I would have never thought this team would have used up the entire 24-second shot clock. Everybody's turning down shots. With a much better 3rd quarter, obviously, defensively for the 36ers, holding United to 14 points. They probably thinking if we can just duplicate that quarter, we only got to score a few to win.
Malawatch, Aguero, and Baton Mays looking to get busy from outside the arc. Johnson. Drimmick. 16 points tonight for Drimmick. Johnson. Franks. He fires. Paddles out.
Even though Rob Franks is very capable of making that 3 ball, I still like to see him put the ball on the floor and attack Isaac off the dribble. As Isaac comes down and gives him some post work.
Well, Adelaide did a great job to start the 3rd quarter of giving it to Robert Franks in the post. Establishes the inside game and lets everyone settle. So give him the ball back in the block, as that's a
offensive foul called on Cleveland. Fairly blatant.
Yeah, that's an easy chicken wing there.
Yeah, Rajon Tucker also has the ability to make his neck snap all the way back just to help the referees out a little bit, but he definitely took the forearm into the chest.
Humphries goes to work on DJ.
Isaac has a sneaky quick first step.
He does, and we mentioned Adelaide's bigs and how good they are. Not defenders either, so Isaac has real advantage down that end as well. That's a great first step and draws a foul.
So 6 points tonight. Humphries will go to the line.
Possessions like this where they can move the ball, attack the mismatch, get themselves to the foul line. That controls the tempo. Now you just got to go to the line and reward yourself.
Guerra gives them another opportunity. Rajon Tucker for three. Yes, he's done it.
Well, that's an absolute coach killer, giving up an offensive rebound after a free throw and then a three-point shot.
Concerns for Chris Goulding, though, for Melbourne United. Drew Jones has been on the case. What can you tell us, Drew?
Yeah, quick update, Al. So pretty solid shoulder to the chin. Medicos are still checking him out at the moment, undergoing a concussion test. Unsure at this stage if he'll return, but not ruled out just yet.
Thanks, Drew. Rajon Tucker underneath. Two more.
All that started, you're right, Gibbo. When they gave up that offensive rebound on the free throw, how good is Tucker feeling about life right now?
Well, he's just making great plays, attacking the paint. It's just been a game of two.
To cut the deficit to three. Interesting with Chris Goulding, if he's undergoing this much medical attention, looks like he isn't going to return tonight. You have to think Saturday against Southeast Melbourne's an unlikely probability as well.
Well, yes and no. It depends, obviously, how bad it is. I mean, obviously, he walked off, and they don't have a lot of time in a quarter to be able to assess him, and usually it takes, 20, 30 minutes to do that. So it's probably safer to save him now and think for the future, one quarter, it's not worth his health and safety. So
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed is fine for the throwdown.
Some performance from Melbourne United if they could come from behind. Drimmick from long range.
This is some bad offense we're looking at, 36er fans. And now Rajon's feeling good about life.
Well, on cue, just to slap me firmly in the face with a little uppercut. Drew Jones has got some important Chris Goulding news from the bench.
Yeah, CG43 just smiled as he walked past. He's back on the bench and he's available to come back into the game. He's just popped some pills, a bit of water in the mouth and switching around. He's ready.
Oh, I read it like a book. Thanks, Drew. Melbourne United are coming hard. Aguera goes to the rim and the margin's back to one.
Well, the way they're playing, they don't need Chris Goulding. Leave him on the bench. He's fine. These guys are playing hard. They're playing great up and in defense. Adelaide's offense has just turned to absolute garbage, and United just feeding off it.
Drimmick with the offensive foul. Rajon Tucker's fired up. Melbourne United's fired up. The crowd's fired up. And United could soon be in front.
I think CJ's going to challenge this one.
These ones are so tough to call. I mean, he was kind of half there, and it's a 50-50. I mean, I got no judgment on this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, off the bandwagon for the 36ers until they can play defense on a regular basis. Did he extend the give up? Did he extend the right arm?
I don't think he was in a legal gutting position to start with.
After review, the call on the court stands, we go offense. Blue ball.
All right.
Can't take a trick.
His feet and he gets up and in and he takes charges. That also just helps his offense. Now his skills and what he can do is on show because he's not sitting in a half-court offense with a set defense.
So Melbourne United are throwing down the challenge. Now the offensive foul or...
No basket. Blue 11. Hold the shirt. That's an offense.
Holding the shirt.
Look at this. This is
On
sneaky.
Rattan Mays, yes.
That's playground basketball right there.
Well, that's great refereeing to pick exceptional work, and as if this game isn't crying for a Chris Goulding, a couple of three balls to win this late in the game.
Push.
Or is there a Mitch McCarron moment to really give it back to the hostile crowd that once cheered his name at this venue? Sunday Detch. Adelaide 36ers have not scored in this quarter. We've been going over 4 minutes. Melbourne United in the midst of a 14-0 run. Sunday Detch, horror. Franks on the spin. There we go.
That is tough.
That's a tough shot. Just give the man the ball in the post. They can't guard him. If they do, they're going to help, and other guys get wide open shots, but give him the ball.
Underneath, Humphries with the reverse. And he is up to 8 points on the night.
Spoon feed pass from Chris Golding. Get Isaac involved. And you're right, Gibbo. It's like the 36ers forgot what's really working for them.
McCarron goes to work on Aguirre. Beautiful finish. It almost is as though he has been spurred on.
Well, with Craig Randall out, he gets the ball more now. He showed with Melbourne United in the past that he's a great playmaker, so he can now be more dominant and more aggressive, and he has to take more than 4 shots like he did last game, and I love his aggression.
McCarron, 12 points tonight. 5 rebounds, 4 assists for him. Drimmick, guarded closely by Golding. Foul is called. Golding felt like he got the ball. Will that be challenged? Here's the Amy replay.
Yeah, tough from where I'm sitting, but yeah, I want that foul if I'm Anthony. Anthony committed the drive. Position on his hip. Ref's going to call that 9 times out of 10.
He did a pretty good job of moving his feet. I think he might have just clipped his elbow there at the end, but good to see the ball go in the hoop for Adelaide.
Yeah, it's about time because they have gone completely stagnant on offense. Rob Franks has decided to stay on the three-point line for the majority of this quarter. When early in the game, he was going to the Query on the block.
This season, with thanks to MG, we're giving away a brand new MG ZS EV electric car valued at $44,990. Enter now at nbl.com.au/win MG for your chance to drive away in that beautiful new car. Drimmick is the leading scorer on the night. And there we go. There's a nice finish from Rattan Mays as things elevate a bit more here.
We got shot makers on the floor. All it takes is one defensive breakdown like Antonius just had. Gave Xavier a little bit too much space.
18 points for Drimmick tonight. Franks fed by Cleveland. Franks swarmed on. Look at that defense. Melbourne United are inspired at the moment. Rattan Mays looks to construct. Goes for 3. Never dropping. Franks the rebound. Peatling spending some time on the floor. Drimmick for 20.
Well, just great poise there from Drimmick. Could have shot the pull-up 3 in transition, but took his time. Nice little floater, and every guard, Damon, needs to have a floater in their package.
Little guards out there, if you want to get a floater game, just turn up to Adam Gibson's little warehouse. And I'm sure you'll put them through their paces, Gibbo.
Absolutely. AdamGibson1.com. Come check me out.
Execution by both teams for this
family. Well done.
Thank you. Awesome. Thanks.
Behind every good man is a good mum. Rattan Mays, Barlow. Ray John Tucker for 3. Ray John Tucker. He's on.
Wow, talk about throwing the scout report completely out the window. Because it would say close out short on Tucker, wouldn't it?
That would, but he's hit 2 threes in that corner now. He likes shooting in the corner, and he's high in confidence. His defense is up and about, and he's making plays. And
Walt.
Wheels are...
United are doing a good job swarming on this pick and roll coverage. And Adelaide are being a little bit too predictable right now.
Rattan Mays.
well, that's really good defense by Antonius Cleveland. Adelaide need a good set here. That's a great
Here
look.
it is. Yep. Antonius and Xavier would have went at it like that all of last year in the Illawarra. Antonius won that one, but this was good about Adelaide. Rob had the seal right there. They spread the floor, dribbling to the three-point line, and Rob was committed low, got himself to the strike.
Franks gets the first to go. Margin back to 2.
One.
17 points, 9 rebounds now for Franks.
This is United's closing lineup. Dean's decided to go with Barlow instead of Mason Peatley for this last 2 minutes.
Rajon Tucker. Look at those moves from Rajon. Can't get the left-hand shot to go. Crank up that D now, Melbourne United. Been excellent in this last quarter. Still have not managed to hit the front, though. Franks, McCarron, Cleveland off the glass. The margin is back out to 5.
That's a tough finish. That's a great offensive rebound by Mitch McCarron, and that's a tough finish. It's a big bucket.
Rajon Tucker. Another three-pointer. When you're hot, you're hot.
That's 3 in a row for Rajon. You got to close out on him longer now. Force him to go to the basket, which anything can happen when he gets to the basket because he might put you on the poster, so you got to pick your poison.
Cleveland underneath Franks. Draws the foul. It's called on Rattan Mays. Franks will go back.
Adelaide is committed to running this pick and roll and trying to find Rob down low. Tough to make right there. Probably wanted the call because he landed on his foot, but right here, Xavier got that late on the rotation, and the one time you stuff up on D on the rotation, it cost you.
He's had a good night.
All right, 1. Let's go. 1. Let's go.
Continuing his excellent recent form, Robert Franks.
See Adelaide, just a little extended pressure, just disrupted.
Oh, that hurt. Rattan Mays bounces back up. No whistle. McCarron. Drimick drives into the paint.
Adelaide are keeping it very simple. Middle ball, Scarroll, hit the wing. Anthony, attack the rack. Make something happen.
They're going to take a look at this.
Under 2 minutes, I think Damon's an automatic review.
There's no missing this one. Or could I?
Oh, hello.
Or could I?
No, that's got to stay with Adelaide, surely. It's taken a while.
Oh, whoa!
I'm out. I'm done. He's 10 years, but early years, I think they had a bit of a rough start. But this is a big play here. I reckon a screen for Gold into the corner.
Rajon Tucker.
Bully ball to the hoop.
Humphries underneath. Out to Rajon.
He's been in there a long time.
And Rajon Tucker has drawn the foul.
Yeah, 3 seconds. They didn't want to call it.
Oh, no, he got out. That's just a great up fake. Franks has to stay down and be sick to contest that shot. These are 2 really big foul shots.
21 points tonight for Rajon Tucker is a new season best for him.
Rajon's been great this game. High energy. Put him back in the starting lineup with Shea Illy being out, and he's responded.
Shea Illy itching to get out there.
Early.
There's There's enthusiasm in the stands, on the bench. Melbourne United trail by 2, 45 seconds to go.
Give it to the guard. What are we doing?
Cleveland takes his time, drives, tried to kick it out towards
Give it to
Johnson.
the guard, Gibbo.
Look at Humphries, a flex. And then
Oh, just good disruptive defense. That's why you have point guards, Damon. Give them the ball, let them make plays.
That's our job. This is what I want right here. Chris Isaac at the top.
Golding gets the screen from Humphries. Barlow, Rattan Mays.
Uh-oh.
Drives. No.
That's good defense.
Franks.
Got a foul. Got a foul. Got a foul. Got a foul.
Oh, there it is.
Nearly unsportsmanlike.
Barlow needs to be careful.
20 on the arm. Gabon is 2 shots. 2 for Franks.
That's not a bad shot from Xavier, but I would have liked to have seen Chris make that decision. He gave it up a little too early, I thought, to Barlow then. I would have loved to see Chris just go for the dagger.
So the clock will go to 12.3 seconds. Franks goes to the line. 8 of 10 from the free throw line tonight. 9 of 11.
And there's his 20 and 10. Rob, 20 and 10 Franks is what they call him.
Timeout called by Dean Vickerman.
True. Any score is good. I'm going to attack the rack, see if I can get myself to the line the old-fashioned way, three-point play. But obviously, if the three presents itself, you got to take it.
Chris Gordon to pop back off the screen. That's a great look.
Golding! Oh, he's built for these moments, but it rattles out.
Oh, that's a great set. That's a great look.
And that is a 5th personal foul. David Barlow.
Yeah, couldn't ask for a better shot in that situation. Chris knocks those down. Just one of those days. Adelaide has just done just enough to hang on. Their defense has been a little bit wobbly, but for the most part, the offense kind of kept them in it. Got some good performance out of this guy. Anthony Glimmick was great today. Rob Franks was awesome today. So offensively, they did enough. And defensively, they didn't have to play 30 minutes of good D. They only had to play a few minutes of good D.
Well, it's not over yet, Damon.
The history says it is.
We might get to cheeseburgers.
Jimmy, 20 points tonight. 7 of 8 from the free throws. And no victory for Melbourne United. 5 points the lead. Rattan Mays. Franks the rebound. He's had an outstanding night, Robert Franks. A double-double for him, his first of the season. Had 12 with the Bullets last season, Robert Franks, but his form is very good. And the Adelaide 36ers in the post-Craig Randall period, they produce. They come up with an excellent win on the road against Melbourne United. 91 points to 86.